What do you think of when you think of a Pharisee? A self-righteous finger-wagger, an arrogant rule follower? Jesus was a Pharisee. There were two major Jewish groups during Jesus' time, the Pharisees and the Sadducees. A smaller number of Jews were part of the Essenes, which was a separatist group. The Pharisees and Sadducees both emerged after the Hasmonean dynasty. They were the Jewish rulers who gained independence after the Maccabean revolt. Hi, my name is John Beeson. Welcome to the Beehive. The Sadducees controlled the temple, and they had political favor with the Romans. They accepted only the Torah, which was the first 5 books of the Bible, and they rejected oral tradition. They emphasized free will, they denied the resurrection of the dead. Meanwhile, the Pharisees affirmed the written Torah, as well as the other books that are part of the Jewish canon today. They emphasized divine providence and believed in the resurrection of the dead. Jesus, without a doubt, was a Pharisee. Jesus agreed with the Pharisees that there was a resurrection after death. See John 6, for instance. His understanding of marriage and divorce aligned with the Pharisees, as did his critique of the manner in which the Sadducees ran the temple. Why then was Jesus' harshest criticism directed at the Pharisees? There are more than 25 times in the gospel where Jesus directly criticizes Pharisees. For instance, see Matthew 23, 24, also Luke 12. Meanwhile, there are only 2 times Jesus directly critiques the Sadducees. See Matthew 16 and Matthew 22. And a handful of times, Jesus indirectly critiques the Sadducees. See Matthew 21, Mark 11, Luke 19, and John 2, for instance. The reason Jesus critiqued the Pharisees more harshly than any other group was because he was a Pharisee. Many Christians today direct their harshest criticism to those out there. At the progressive seminary I attended, evangelicals were the punching bag. For many evangelicals, of whom I am one, progressives are the target of their strongest critique. From time to time, I get feedback from members of our evangelical church, confused or frustrated that I am not harsher toward the world. Why do I focus most of my critique on the church and not on the world? Because that is what Jesus did. Have you ever noticed how Jesus rarely critiques the Roman Empire? Isn't that odd? It certainly wasn't because he approved of the corrupt, self-seeking, perverse, and idolatrous empire. It was because he didn't expect anything else of the authorities and powers of the world. In response to Pilate's befuddlement that his own people would turn him over as the king of the Jews, Jesus responds, "My kingdom is not of this world." Jesus' critique of the Sadducees is stronger because they are within his larger tribe, but he reserves his sharpest criticism for his own. Our culture has an inverted proportionality of critique. We protect those who are our own at all costs. Look no further than the latest political scandal, and you'll see one tribe safeguarding its own while the other side is in attack mode. It won't take the discerning observer long to recall an occasion when the same party defending their own was attacking someone from the other party with a similar offense. We take the weakest of our opponents' arguments on cable news, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. They're stuffed with those taking down their opposition. Jesus, on the other hand, tells us to take the log out of our own eye before we examine our brother's eyes. He urges us to not live as whitewashed tombs, which look beautiful on the outside, but on the inside are full of dead men's bones. Christians shouldn't behave like cable news hosts. A godly Christian might not have much negative to say about politicians, not because she agrees, but because she's praying for them. A pastor who doesn't blast ungodly legislation might do so not because they are soft or cowardly. It might not be because they are lukewarm. It might be because their hearts are first for the people of God. Jesus, after all, said, "You are the salt of the earth. But if the salt has lost its taste, how shall its saltiness be restored? And you are the light of the world. A city set on the hill cannot be hidden." In a world in need of preservation, let's stay salty, brothers and sisters. In a dark world, let's shine brightly. And let's spin our critique on those who are salt and light.